I don't believe that Liverpool, at no point, knowing that he's got a year left in his contract, have not had some form of conversation with Salah's representation.
I'm with you in that.
He's saying surely, what's the point of lying? That would get exposed anyway.
Yeah, well, they haven't spoken to him, but they've spoken to his representation.
Liverpool went to Old Trafford, Dan, and well, wow, did they impress or did they impress? It was magnificent just before the international break. What was your takeaway from it? Was Slot that good, or was Ten Hag and his judgment that bad?
Oh, I think Liverpool were really good. I mean, United weren't great, let's be honest about it. I was really pleased with the Liverpool performance and how they controlled large parts of the game. They had a little spell second half where they conceded a couple of chances, but the midfield setup's a little bit different, obviously, with Gravenberch now sitting in there, who's done tremendously well. Yeah. It was the first challenge, wasn't it? The first real test of the season going to Old Trafford.
On paper.
Yeah. And there was...
Not in practice, though, was it really?
No.
The first real test will be Arsenal or...
Yeah, in terms of a title
or Villa or Man City or who...
But I think the perception beforehand was this could be a test, especially after last season.
But it wasn't.
Were you surprised what you heard post-match, Danny, from Mo Salah? Almost inviting Liverpool to open contract talks. This is what... Have a listen to this.
Honestly, I had a good summer. I had a long time to just to stay with myself and try to think positive, because as you know, this is my last year in the club. I just want to enjoy it and just I don't want to think about it, but just like I feel I'm free to play football, and we'll see what's going to happen next year. To be fair, I was coming to the game. I said, look, it could be a last time. Nobody in the club talked to me yet about contracts, so I just okay, I played my last season and see it in the end of the season. So far, yeah, my last game here with Liverpool. It's not up to me, but nobody talked to me about from the club, but we will see.
I mean, he dropped in not once but twice. Nobody at the club has talked to me about a contract yet, and we know he's out of contract at the end of this season. Does it surprise you that your Liverpool has not opened talks yet with Salah and his people?
Well, firstly, I'd just like to say I don't think there was any cynicism in his interview. I think he just, in a very relaxed, brutally honest way, was talking about his predicament, and I quite liked it. He looks super sharp. He looks great. But going back to your question, I think it's quite strange that there hasn't been a conversation of sorts, which would start even initially with a conversation about what are you thinking? Do you want to stay, or whatever, however you want to have the conversation? Because even if there is some thinking around Liverpool not wanting to pay what he's earning moving forward for a 32, 33, 34-year-old, there could easily be a conversation about, look, we'd like you to stay, but it might have to be on reduced terms, or it might only be a year, or whatever it may be. That conversation should have been had at least with his representative. I'm amazed there's been no conversation at all. That seems
as
really...
in nothing. And that's why, I mean, obviously he's shone on the pitch on the day. And I think he's, to me, it smacked of, well, this is the perfect time to say it, so I'm going to say it.
Maybe. I don't know. He doesn't seem that cynical type to me. I thought he was being refreshingly honest, just saying, look, it might be my last time here. Don't know type thing. But they haven't spoke to me. And yeah, maybe his representative said to him, drop it in. Who knows? The reality is, I think what it has done is it's got the Liverpool fan base triggered in a positive way because they want him. They want him to stay.
I don't know. I always felt that it was baked in that he was going to leave at the end of this season. I felt that the hurrah that was made last year, when it was he going, was he not going, was his representatives talking to the Saudi clubs, were they not, was the deal done, was the deal not done? And I always assumed that at the end of this season, one way or t'other, either at the back end of that this would be his last season, even more so when Klopp was going out the door, that maybe that was the catalyst for perhaps Salah to leave and go and fulfil the opportunity that might have been his in Saudi. And I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't believe that Liverpool at no point in the last year, knowing that he's got a year left in his contract, have not had some form of conversation with Salah's representation.
I'm with you in that. They're surely bound to have, but he said not once but twice.
What's the point of lying? Because that would get exposed anyway.
Yeah, well, they haven't spoken to him, but they've spoken to his representation.
People would have told him that, Simon.
Well, I know that, but the point is as Liverpool Football Club, I know I'm being a little bit pedantic about it, but there is a way of insulating yourself against. They didn't have a conversation with me. Yeah. Well, the next question is, have they at any time spoken to your representation?
Yes.
But that wasn't picked up.
That's what we needed.
I concur with the feeling what you're talking about. Once that maybe would have this could be the end of the season. What I took from that interview and some of his wording was actually that he's open to an offer to stay. I really did.
Yeah.
But he looks, I mean, I have to say, despite my observations in the past, he looks remarkably together in terms of he just looks even better than he's looked in the past.
The haircut helps.
Yeah, he's lightened the load.
Maybe you should try that.